Hi everyone, coming to you late evening thoughts that hopefully you can resonate with, and I hope it's been a great week for you. So here's a question: what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you remember answering that question, or maybe even asking it? Even adults, when we see somebody who's successful, we tend to say, maybe even jokingly, I want to be like you when I grow up, right? Because there is this quest, there is this search for success, for what fills us up, and we want to be like that, and we want to find out what someone has done to achieve those things in life. And so we ask children this question all the time, and in some cases we don't even have to raise the conversation and ask them anything, and they will begin to tell us. They want to be firefighters and doctors and lawyers and teachers and dancers and magicians, whatever it is in their little minds that really contains no boundaries, and they dream big and they think about all the things they want to be and all the things they want to do, and they share that. But what's interesting is that we seldom hear a child say, I want to be happy. You know, we tend to instill in children the importance of a career pathway early in life. And when we think about it, even ourselves as adults, we have our professions, we have our career pathways, and yet we search for something greater. Whether it's a business that we're in or some job that we're working on, there is a sense of, I need something more than that. I need something much greater than that. And that greater thing tends to be happiness and fulfillment. And so we ultimately strive for those things in our lives. And when we look at the self-improvement industry, it is evident that we're not alone. There are a lot of people searching for this as well. It's an industry that's made up, over $2 billion a year, because people are continuously searching for self-improvement, training and courses and mentors and coaches, and all of this is driven by that urge, that yearning to be the best that we can be, because so few people really feel that they have achieved it. And so what's this yearning about? What's this need to feel fulfilled and happy? And I've talked a little bit about being happy, so tonight I'm going to focus on being fulfilled. And whatever fulfillment means to you, one thing I can tell you is that you're going to strive to get it until you reach your highest potential. We are created to reach that potential that God has put within us. And sometimes we slack off and we allow distractions and disruptions in life to discourage us. But outside of that discouragement, we want to propel our lives forward to see how far we can go and where we can reach. And so when we make progress, here's another tip. When we make progress in life, whether it's in our spiritual life or relationships or family or job or business or whatever, whenever we move into action that moves us into progress, that's when we actually move closer to fulfillment. And so taking action continues to be a theme that comes up as important, right? And so the progress we make actually helps us to feel fulfilled, right? Don't you feel great when you succeed in something that you set out to work on and there's some progress made? You feel like, yes, I can do it. My confidence is increasing and I can actually conquer this thing that's ahead of me that I might feel some fear about or some uncertainty about. And that progress has within it seeds of fulfillment. So if you want to feel more fulfilled in your life, step into action, make some progress, and you'll get closer to that yearning that you have to reach the highest potential that you can. But we have a very long way to go to reach our highest potential. Every single one of us, if we were to be honest enough, we're not living up to our potential. And I can tell you that even though you might have achieved some things in your career, in your business, there is so much more that could be done. And you know it. If you're really honest with yourself, you know it. And I know it too. And so when people have, done amazing things, even raising a family, or they might have become a firefighter or a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is, they're still going to continue this quest for fulfillment. And sometimes people have the greatest relationships and the greatest families, but when they consider their full life, they realize, you know what? There's so many things that interrupted my greatness. I'm doing well, I'm doing okay, but my greatness has not been achieved. It's not been realized. And as a result, we get so concerned about these bumps in the road that we start to fixate, we start to focus on the bumps in the road rather than getting over those humps in the road, right? But one thing that will help you to get over those challenges is knowing that it takes a lot of internal work. When you work on yourself, you work on your heart, you work on your head, you work on the thoughts that just infiltrate your mind and the things that happen around you on a daily basis that serve as a distraction. You've got to have some inner power, some will that's so strong that it breaks all of those distractions and chains and barriers that seem to so easily tie us up. And then we move closer to the things that we need to do. It sounds easy, and I know it's not, but it's exactly what needs to happen in order for the progress to be made. Even achieving a career goal, okay, that's admirable, but it's not what brings lasting fulfillment. I can tell you, I've spoken to a lot of professionals, and they will tell me quietly, secretly, outside of their colleagues and their friends, I'm not satisfied. I am not fulfilled. I just show up and do what I have to do, but life must have something greater in it than what I'm experiencing. And it really saddens me to know that so many people are experiencing this. People you would never imagine. You see them, you think they have an amazing life, they're making a lot of money, they're doing what you would consider to be their dream job, but they are not fulfilled. And so you ask yourself, what do you truly desire? What are you passionate about? What motivates you? What is it that will take you beyond the surface desires of your life? And when you find those answers, that is where your fulfillment lies. That's where you will find your fulfillment. And it's very different sometimes than what you do to make a living. Now, for those who are really blessed and can find fulfillment in what they do for a living as well as what they do recreationally and with their families, and it's just one complete package, that's an ideal situation. That's absolutely wonderful, and it's doable. But for many people, what they do for a living doesn't bring them that fulfillment, and so they go in search of it. So, for instance, a high-powered attorney, a very successful doctor might find their fulfillment in working with children. And so they might develop a mentoring program or get into one and just spend quality time with children who want to know how they can succeed in life, how they can break out from the poverty and the adversity and the things that they're experiencing in their life. And so when they are stepping into that work, that brings them fulfillment. That brings them a joy that they really can't even explain, but it's what fills their soul up. And so regardless of how busy their life is and how busy their schedule is, they're going to make time to do those things that fill them up, because they're going to need to pour out in other spaces of their lives. And there are just a few things that fill us up. You know, when you might be tired, either emotionally tired or physically tired, you look to certain people, you look to certain things. Maybe it's prayer, maybe it's music, or it's a community. Maybe it's something that's lighthearted, that gets you laughing again or something. But you find that thing that fills your soul. And for a lot of people, it's, what am I passionate about? I'm going to go hold, like my daughter who's in college right now. She absolutely loves working with children. And so regardless of how busy her schedule is, she's going to make time to go volunteer in the children's hospital and hold the very sick babies, those babies who aren't given a lot of time to live, or those babies who are receiving, chemotherapy or had some surgery or something that's so distressing that they need some extra love and care. She'll go for hours and hold those babies and cradle them and love on them and pray for them and sing to them and just get filled up, and doesn't even feel tired after doing that because it was time invested in another human being, and that time filled her soul. So I want you to think about what moves you in that way. That's so you can't even really measure it, but it's what you need to create fulfillment in your life. When you identify these desires, then you need to put them into action. And that's how we grow. That's how we transform and manifest our true purpose. So each action we take is actually going to bring us closer to living a more fulfilled life. And when we live a more fulfilled life, what happens? Yes, you got it. We're going to feel that we're reaching our highest potential. And that's the yearning. That's what we strive for as human beings. And so this process is not easy. Transformation is going to require some spiritual endurance, because we have to overcome hardship and we have to overcome fears. But that's the only way we're going to get to the wonderful place of feeling fulfilled. I want you to expect more for yourself and know that the singular reason, the main reason that we are falling short of the things that we're doing is because we truly don't have an appreciation for who we are. When we get that there's greatness in our souls, there's greatness within us, we're going to realize the potential within our soul, and then we're going to be able to manifest that. So when we're not making progress, it's easy to get down on ourselves and feel like we're unworthy, feel like we don't have what it takes to do this. When people are not following through with us and the things we expect from them, or if we are not getting things reciprocated to us, or if we tried and there isn't the immediate success that we expected, then we tend to focus on those things so heavily that we become blinded to all the other amazing things around us that we can do and the potential around us and within us. And so tonight, I just want to encourage you to step out beyond the what seems to be falling short of your greatness, what seems to be failure, and really step into it. Turn it around, right? Just move away from the negative approach, from the approach that says, I am not worthy, because you very much are. And when you embrace that, you're going to begin to reach your highest potential in an incredible way. But understand that fulfillment is a lifelong endeavor. And even when we do things that make us feel fulfilled, it's an ongoing process, because there are things that feed our souls, and there are things that when we do to others help to nourish us in a way that only those actions can do. So if fulfillment is kind of very fluid, it's ongoing. When you experience it once, you can't just really package it and say that you'll have it forever. You need to continue to pursue that ongoing fulfillment in your life. And that's going to push you to reaching your highest potential. The final thought I want to leave with you is that spiritual strength is what you will need to grow into self-love, to grow into that thinking that I am loved by God and I'm loved by many, and I need to love myself also. With all of my perfect imperfections, I am worthy of love, and I can give what's needed, and I can receive what's needed to fill my soul. Grow in self-love and also grow in compassion. And as you give compassion, be sure to be compassionate to yourself as well. So I want you to reflect on what brings you fulfillment. Spend some time really discovering within yourself what is fulfilling to you. and then go after that thing as if it's oxygen, as if it's air that you needed to survive, because it's what's going to feed you to get to the next level in your life, and then ultimately to the highest potential that you can reach. And again, I'm not talking about reaching the highest educational level or reaching the highest level on your job or maybe even in your business. I'm talking about things that go much deeper than those superficial successes or those things that are on the surface. And while they are great and need to be achieved, there's something else that you need to sustain your spiritual and your spiritual growth and what sustains your soul in this life. And if you do those things I just shared with you, you'd be well on your way to achieving the highest potential that God has given to you. All right, so stand in your power, identify your purpose, understand your purpose, and live it out. When you move into action, you feel fulfilled. And so I want you to have a fulfilling rest of the week and just go do amazing things. And I'll talk to you guys again. Take care. Bye now.